In this experiment, we take a strip of paper, twist it and stick it, as you can see here. This is known as a Mobius strip. Now we have to cut exactly the center, that is, we have to divide this Mobius strip into two pieces. When we cut the strip into two halves, something interesting will happen. As you can see, instead of forming two separate loops, it has formed one bigger loop. And now we cut it again into two halves. And now, as you can see, it has formed two interlocks. Whereas if we just create a simple loop and cut it into two pieces, we get two separate loops. Whereas in a Mobius loop just gets bigger. In this experiment, two objects, a cylinder and a cone, is taken. Both the cone and the cylinder have a base with same radius and the same height, and we have to prove that the cylinder has 3 times more area than that of a cone. So what we have to do is fill the cone with a filling substance and put it inside the cylinder. And as you can see here, when we put 3 cones inside the cylinder will eventually fill up, which will prove that a cylinder is 3 times the area of a cone with the same radius of base and the height. In this experiment, we take a piece of paper that is a rectangle with dimensions of 14.5 cm and 9.5 cm. One piece of paper, we have to roll it along the length and the other one along the breadth. Now we have to find out whether both of these have the same area or not. So again, we have to take any filling substance and fill it into the smaller cylinder first. When the smaller cylinder fills up, we have to lift the cylinder and see how much of the fat cylinder has been filled up. So now when we lift the cylinder, as you can see, only 2/3 of the fatter cylinder is filled, which proves that the cylinder rolled along its breadth has more area than the one rolled along its length.
In this trick, you have to tell a person to choose any number from this chart. So for example, if the person chooses the number 7, you have to ask him whether the number exists on this and this. So the number here exists. The number 7 does not exist on this chart, so this is a wrong. The number 7 does not exist here either. Number 7 exists here, and number 7 again exists here. So now add the first number of each of the chart. So 1 plus 4 plus 2 equals the number 7. So let's take another number. For example, if the person chooses the number 15, so number 15 does not exist here again. It's over here. Number 15 is here, here and here. So 2 plus 4 plus 8 plus 1 equals the number 15. In this experiment, we have to use one simple loop and one Mobius loop, and we have to stick it like this. This will look like a number 8 and this should be perpendicular to this. Now we have to glue this. And now we have to cut the simple loop in half like this. As you can see, it has formed a chain-like structure. Now we have to cut this. And as you can see, we have got a square. So as you can see, we've got a square like structure over here.
Take a circle, divide it into 8 parts and cut it. The circle here is of radius 10 cm. Keep the 7 parts aside and the 8th part you have to divide it into 2 more equal parts and cut it. Now arrange the 7 parts in an order like this. Now the 2 remaining pieces from the 8 parts have to be kept at the edges. This resembles roughly a rectangle. This experiment proves that the area of rectangle is equal to the area of circle.